This episode is brought to you by Elevate OS, the only all-in-one community operating system. Elevate OS transforms property management, combining resident engagement, reservations, rent payments, maintenance, and concierge services into a single super app. It also uniquely integrates access control, intercoms, package lockers, and thermostats, eliminating app fatigue and redefining modern apartment living. Visit elevateos.com/MMN for a free demo and see how they can help you level up your operations. Welcome to another episode of the Multifamily Collective. Today, let's talk about why you're always tired. Are you exhausted or fatigued? Lion's share of the time. You're a leader in the multifamily space, and it seems like every day you go home at the end of the day and you are just fatigued. You're exhausted. You're tired. And you think you're tired because you work too hard. And you think you're tired because there's just too much on your plate. Or you think you're tired because there's just a lot happening in the world as it relates to the business that you're doing. And I want to challenge that thought process. And I want to propose the idea that you're tired because you tolerate too much. And if we think about that in the leadership realm, in your workplace, in your leadership environment, your management environment, you tolerate too much, usually in the form of tolerating team members that are not following through with your expectations or your company's expectations. They're not pulling their own weight. When you get into executive leadership forums or senior leadership forums or whatever peer group you're a part of, you end up spending the lion's share of your time complaining about people who don't follow process, procedure, discipline, routine. They don't deliver on time. They don't deliver with quality. They don't deliver what you need for them to deliver. They don't hold people accountable. They don't. Insert whatever example you want. And my speculation is that you're tolerating too much in the sense that you are not holding people accountable. All those things that are frustrating you are the very things that you need to do in order to get that time back, in order to get that fatigue solved, the source of that fatigue. You're tolerating too much in the way of team members who are sucking 80% of your time and in an overall perspective are only producing 20% of the results in your organization or 20% of the results in their portfolio. And you get fatigued because you continue to enable them. You enable them in ways like you do their work for them, or you cover for them in meetings, or you make excuses for them outside of the room. And you think you're doing a favor, you think you're doing them a favor because you try to teach and coach and mentor and counsel them to bring them along. What happens is you end up getting embedded in their workflows, doing their work for them and covering all those things. And that becomes a habit. And then you just continue to exercise that habit instead of making a decision to part that person from your organization. You've coached them a number of times at this point. You just have to part ways with them. If you can't change people. That is to say, get a new person in that role, doing that responsibility. It'll bring back your sanity. It'll bring back your health and welfare. It'll bring back your energy. You'll be surprised you're 6 months down the road and you're much more productive in terms of your leadership or your application of leadership or your application of management that you were 6 months prior, because all of a sudden you have somebody that is pulling their own weight or outperforming. Decisions are being made. You no longer have fatigue as it relates to getting your business done. So my encouragement to you today is this. If you find yourself in rooms with peer groups or people senior to you complaining about individuals for some specific reason, I want you to go home that night. I want you to look in the mirror. And I want you to give yourself a good, hard talk. And that talk goes along the lines of, is that thing I am complaining about? Is that thing I'm complaining about a weakness in my leadership, a weakness in my management style? Have I done all the things necessary to bring that person around to an expectation and a level of performance that is acceptable to the organization? Or am I not doing the very thing that I think that person should be doing? Am I not being decisive in making a decision and helping this person part ways with our organization in a graceful way? so that I can get my sleep routine back, so that I can get my energy level back, so I can get my creativity back. Take a good hard look in the mirror that evening, come back the next day, make a decision, and move forward. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.